All right, welcome back, everybody. This is going to be step 2. If you haven't watched step 1, please go watch step 1. It is linked on Classroom. Anyways, for this one, we're going to be introducing the story that we choose through summary. So we're going to be talking about summary here. Okay, so first things first, we want to think about what is the purpose of an introduction. This is a hugely important question. What's the purpose of an introduction? So first we need to think about what's the purpose of the writing that we're doing. What are you trying to get your audience to think or do? And for this assignment, convince me, your audience, that your hero's story follows or doesn't follow the hero's journey. Pause if you need to, but that's what you're doing for this assignment. Okay? You're also convincing me, your audience, that your hero's story will or won't be remembered in 1,000 years. What we talked about today, is it going to become a myth? So, what do you need to do for the introduction? I don't know your story. So the first thing you need to do is you need to be summarizing it for me. Okay? You need to explain to me who wrote your story, when it happened, etc. I really don't know most of the stories you chose. So honestly, summarize your story for me. I'm reading 100 plus essays. So you need to make your writing stand out by grabbing my attention and giving it some importance. That's what we call the hook. And then lastly, I need to know what you're arguing. I need to know what you're going to say in your essay. And this is where you will write a clear argument, a thesis statement. Pause if you need to. This is the 3 main things you're doing in your intro. What we're going to focus on right now is summarizing your story. So I'm going to be focusing on the organizer, which is in your assignment. You can pull that up right now. Okay. And this is what it looks like. We've got title, author, time period, character, hero, what happens to that character in the story, and important things about the story. So for me, I did Theseus and the Minotaur, which we read today in class. And this is what I wrote down. If you'd like, you can go ahead and pause this video and read through what I said. So what you'll notice is that in my introduction, the summary ends up being the bulk of my intro. And what I've done in it is I've just explained everything in that organizer, focusing mostly on what happens in the story, both the beginning, middle, and end. Now, since this is a hero's journey, you want to make sure you include the parts that happen on the hero's journey. You'll see a part down here, important things about the story. I said, I don't really know. It seems like I was using my own words here. I said, it seems like a super straightforward hero's journey, except for the very end, where his dad dies. That doesn't seem very much like a hero's journey. So you'll notice I cleaned up some of that language. You can pause and read this right here. But I also added this part of the summary where I give my hero's journey a little bit of that uniqueness that we talked about on the rubric. So what's missing from this intro? You got it, the hook and the thesis. So I'm going to briefly talk about a hook. Thesis is the next video. So remember, the attention grabber hook answers the question, why should I read this? Honestly, why should I read this? Not just because I have to grade it. You want to think, why should my reader read this? You've used a lot of strategies for attention grabbers before. The main thing you're doing is you're making a connection between the audience, in this case me, and the subject, your essay. You want to call them into the action through a question or a short story or an unexpected statement or some connection. Okay? So your hook, which is going to come right before your summary, should be grabbing me from here and turning me into this dog that loves the cupcakes. The hook is not in the rubric because I want you to take risks. I want you to trust yourself. What do you think is going to make someone who picks up your essay say, oh, I need to read this? So I went ahead and added in this sort of corny hook. Did Spider-Man ever break the neck of a half man, half bull that had been terrorizing his kingdom for years with his bare hands? Could Superman do anything without using that Krypton superpower? They don't make heroes like they used to. Old Theseus could. So now I have my summary and my hook. And what we have to do next is come up with our thesis. So stop. Go ahead, fill out your organizer for the summary, and then put that into the intro. Email me if you have questions. Next video is thesis.